let's jump into some thoughts because, we left the conversation yesterday and you had started to break down what you guys have been doing. And you made the statement of, hey, how do people not know about this? And I had to call you and be upfront and say, Nick, I haven't trained myself in proper sanitization, and I was going to start trying to come up with, running some cars through the shop and how can we sanitize, and well, I have this product, right? I mean, we're used to, as detailers, I think I've said this before, we're used to just taking a product and just, cool, here's a product to use for such and such, and we just grab it and we like to, oh, I see the way this works, and oh, what if I do this, and I can do like, that's sort of the way we'd like to do it as detailers. We almost pride ourselves in being bootstrap chemist in a sense, right? If I see the product working this way, I want to do it this way. Well, we get into some of this stuff that's not formulated for automotive. We got to hold the phone real quick, and we might be helping people and then suddenly have to replace seats. Or, well, sir, we cleaned your car and sanitized it from all the virus stuff, or however you want to say what you're going to do. But by the way, I've got to now go over to the dealership and try and find out how much it's going to cost to get your door fixed, because we just bleached it and it's worse than a freezer. So
let's be very honest. We know how to clean, right? We know how to remove dirt. We know how to remove light soiling or heavy soiling. We know how to do all that kind of stuff. And that's what detailing interiors has been about. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly acceptable service we've provided all these years. But when you're fighting, things like the flu or a virus like the coronavirus we're fighting today, cleaning is almost irrelevant, right? It really doesn't do a lot, because you have to get into the next levels of disinfection and sterilization. And it's very tough. This is the balancing act. So let's get into this a little bit deeper now. It's really not hard to clean, disinfect, and sanitize a surface from coronavirus. It's really not difficult. We talked about it before we got on the air. 1,000 products on the EPA's website. You can go do it at your home right now. It takes you 10 seconds to clean the countertop properly, right? Let it dwell, do whatever. There's no problem with it. The thing that makes it difficult with automobiles is what you said. I got 3, 4, 5, 10 different types of surfaces inside the car. I got porous, non-porous. I got leather. I got cloth. I got Alcantara. I got hard plastics. I got piano plastics. I got porous plastics. I got cheap doors. I got expensive doors. All of a sudden, it's not as easy as making some home brew of something that works on your countertop. It is, oh, wait a minute, I'm working on a Honda Odyssey for a family, and this seat costs $2,500. I can't just go spraying everything on the surface. So I want people to understand it actually is very simple to disinfect and sanitize surfaces. What makes this unique is we're dealing with so many types of surfaces and so many types of very delicate pieces of equipment, right? You have electronics, you have seat warmers, you got perforated seats. If that stuff gets down in there, what will it do to the The list goes on. And so when people try to make this really simple, and you and I have been sharing videos back and forth of detailers around the country where I'm just going to spray it down, I'm going to scrub it, I'm going to wipe it off. It's going to do it's going to help in some way, but it's going to be very small. And when something like this problem is so large, that is what's making the claims that we make have to be very, very, for lack of a better term, detailed, right? We need to make sure that we can perform at the level that we're telling a client, because now we are talking about people passing away from this virus and it may be spreading, and you don't want to walk into somebody's house and just start, well, I've used alcohol on interiors with some steam forever. It'll tell you that alcohol is effective without using it properly. So I think that's really what we're going to go today.
Let me come back and say it. I'm one of the first you really have opened my eyes into all this. Okay. And so as a company, we're making decisions and choices as we come up with more and more data, which is why we say be active in the community event, community page, so that we can grab as much information as possible and make the best decisions. So thanks again, man, for taking your time and you don't have to do this, right? But you've done some research over the past 10 years. You've been doing this as your business. This is who you are. And we are very grateful for in this moment of learning from you. So, really appreciate that.
And look, and that's kind of why we started this. Obviously, we started these videos long before we entered into this time of, kind of crisis for a lot of people. The whole idea is to share information. And I want people to know that. The problem is, don't share information that you can't back up with some data from some testing or some other entity. And we're going to talk about to kind of cycle this around for people. We're going to talk about tomorrow some ozone claims and things like that. There are a lot of claims that are made, and we call it bro science, right? Detailer science. I heard from this detailer. I saw this detailer do this. I did it. Everything looked great. Wow, it's so awesome. But nobody actually ever did the work. And so let's dive in now to all this alcohol talk. Have a 70% isopropanol, 70-30 split on IPA, spray it on a surface, wipe it off. You're good to go. Well,
most common, right? Like most common is that's a lot of people are saying now. We have plenty of people that are taking alcohol, mixing it, and sanitizing with it. Spray it on yourself, spray it on your hand, and that works.
Never gonna stop, gonna stay on your face. Oh,
Can we go back before we jump into it? Can you define though again, because I don't want to keep saying the wrong words.
Yep.
I want to understand what we're calling cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting.
Okay. So this is going to be because there's no way to have this without technical words. Okay. Cleaning, and by the way, this is from scientific paperwork. This isn't my opinion, and I think that's important here. Cleaning physically removes infectious agents and the organic matter on which they thrive, dirt, right? So we're just basically cleaning the surface of things that could add to carrying of a virus, right? Dirt that has the virus on it. If I wipe that dirt off, I've removed some of the virus from the surface.
Right.
Right.
And we've seen in our group, and this is where I want to play back and forth with you, in our group, right? And I've been open about it. We feel that APC is a good way of doing that because some different diagrams from New York Times, Ian from Auto Fibers put out a lot of good information. Soap attacks it. So we've been pretty active saying, go push the fight, get the APCs out there. Let's get everything cleaned off and start this battle.
Yep. And so look, cleaning is a part.
Yeah.
Cleaning is a part.
Okay.
Okay. So, cleaning physically removes infectious agents and the organic matter on which they thrive, but does not necessarily destroy them. It's going to do some percentage of help, but it's not going to go to the level that people are trying to portray across Instagram, portray when they're using ads, portray when talking to other detailers as though they've done the work. They don't even know the difference of these three. And I would venture to say most people that I've come across their page didn't know there was 3 different levels, which is okay, but you can't go out there and act as if you've put in the time and charge as if you've put in the time and effort when you haven't. And we're putting people at risk. Workers, I saw a guy yesterday. We talked about this off the air. This guy had a workstation, and he's on Instagram, and he's spraying it with alcohol, wiping it right off. This is how I'm keeping my workers safe. Wrong. And that's where we get into dwell time. So let's jump into now the popular isopropanol mixture that so many detailers are spraying on themselves, spraying on workstations, even using as part of a sanitizing part of their cleaning of surfaces on the interior of the car. Because again, alcohol is fine if you don't leave it on the surface, right? If I spray it on, I wipe it off, not going to be a whole bunch of damage, especially if I dilute it really, really, really low. I'll smell a little bit of alcohol. I have mostly water in there, and I'm selling it as sterilization, right?
Well, 70-30 it. Let's just stay with the model, 70-30.
Okay. So it's pretty safe to say that when you and I have a empty bottle and we start to mix chemicals, it's not exactly always pinpoint.
Really?
Okay.
What's wrong with you, man? You ain't
Okay.
got that? Man, I got it down to science, man. Like,